Hello, welcome to the Lead with Soft Skills podcast. I'm your host and coach, JP Warren. Are you in the process of turning your customers into junkies? If you're having conversations just about low cost, chances are you're turning your customer into an addict. All right. They're always looking for the next hit. They're looking for their next score. They're looking for the next lowest cost. This conversation today on Lead with Soft Skills, we're going to talk about how to avoid and kind of navigate around these low cost conversations that are plaguing a lot of different industries right now. I view low cost conversations as a great way to stop the conversation. I view low cost conversations as a great way for your target customer to dismiss any value conversations. It's an easy way to say, submit your lowest price and get out of my office. A lot of times that does not lead to any relationship-based selling. That leads to no solution-based selling. And in reality, you're just creating just a price loyalty, which is not a good thing to do. Now, unless you're competing on that, such as Walmart or another major brand like that, that's a good thing. However, today we're going to dive in on how to avoid these low-cost conversations and what you should be doing. And a lot of this work is a lot of prep work before you actually walk into that office. I think we're plagued right now that it's a lot of salespeople. It's go out there and get work. But how are we actually doing this? And are we actually kind of preparing on the conversations and visualizing the conversations we're having? And if something gets thrown in the way, how do we navigate around that? We're going to go over a couple key points today to talk about getting away from those low cost conversations. I have my notes right here. So if you don't mind, I'll be jotting back and forth between them. So, cost is one of those things that's constantly, it's always brought up during meetings and trainings with all these groups that I coach when it comes to sales training. Is how do we navigate? How do we handle objections and go around these low cost conversations? Our customer, they say they're driven by cost. Listen, we're all driven by cost. Okay. Think about this. Yes, you want the best deal for whatever you're going out there and purchase, whether it's a car, whether it's a suit, whether it's a phone, or whether it's a computer. Obviously, we want the best deal, but that does not mean we're going for the lowest cost. Think about our own purchasing habits. So we need to put ourselves in the shoes of our target audience. Are they really concerned about price, or is there something under the surface? All right. So here's a couple key things for you to do. And I always say, listen, before you actually walk into your customer's office, or before you walk in to make a sales call, sit in your car a little bit, sit in the lobby a little bit, take some time, plan out what you're going to say, plan out your attitude, build yourself up, have good energy, have good confidence, good eye contact, and have your pitch and tone kind of match. We've gone over your pitch and tone, body language, and all that stuff on previous Lead with Soft Skills podcast. So this is just another way to prep yourself so you walk in that room, hold the energy, and whenever an obstacle comes away, you know how to handle it. And prep work, when it comes to these high stress situations, it can save you whether you're a deal or not. All right, so let's start off. Number one is adopt a value-based approach whenever you're discussing pricing. All right, this is simple terms. This is the reality of what your product or service will do for your customer. Okay, it's not, oh, well, we sell the best X, or this is the best X of this. You want to discuss and convey the actual reality of what that means if they choose to utilize your service. Okay. So it's not, hey, listen, we're cheaper than the competition. It says, hey, listen, what we do, our service, our solution, our product, it can cut your downtime by 30%, saving you X amount of hours per day or X amount of budget dollars throughout the rest of the month. So again, what you're doing, you're moving past that low cost conversation. You're saying, listen, at the end of the day, if you do this, this is how it's going to free your life up. This, you can actually focus on the stuff that you want to work on versus the tedious stuff that you were dealing with before. All right. So again, have a reality-based conversation of what it actually means if your customer would purchase your product. All right. And also, whenever you are talking about this, if they should purchase it, there's a lot of fear when it comes to customers about what does this mean for me? Okay, do I have to implement all this new stuff, new training materials? Do I have to learn a whole new system or whatever that looks like? Or my personnel get along with your personnel. Having these conversations and easing them into what it actually looks like, them crossing over and utilizing your service might help the conversation flow as well. All right. So again, this is all understanding your customer needs. We talked about active listening, having these questions that dive into a little bit more on what your customer challenges are so you can speak to that. All right. And again, I always try to speak past that objective, past that obstacle. Hey, we can get rid of this obstacle, but that allows you to do X, Y, Z. Think about the X, Y, Z. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. All right. And enhance the another step you can do is enhance your product differentiation. Another way to put this is I always ask people whenever I'm leading sales trainings, let's sit here and think about this. Why would your customer make a switch today using you? Think about that. And if it's, oh, we got the best service, oh, we got the lowest cost, that's not a real reason on why someone would actually take the hassle to switch over to a new service, a new product, or introduce a new service, a new product. All right. So, again, the real reasons why someone would want to make a switch. And I think if you can identify that personally, if you go through that exercise where you're actually reviewing yourself and doing some self reflection, your company, if you can actually nail down some of these reasons, you can that actually kind of marries you more towards the service and the product. And if you're not psyched up and geeked up about what you're selling, what you're going in there, and what you're talking to your customer about, chances are you're not going to be a successful salesperson. All right. So again, this is a great way to have accountability and hold stake in that service and product you're selling. Why would you switch from using your competitor's product to yours? What are the real reasons? Once you answer that, that is what you go with. That's what you lean into, and that's what excites you about. All right. Okay. So another thing that we can do is focus on customer relationships. I always chime in this that I think relationships are the most important thing that we need to be doing, not just professionally, but personally. But again, showcasing that you're not just a vendor to drop price, showcase you're not just a vendor that just wants the deal and get out the door. Having these customer relationships. All right. This is even how you approach the initial meeting. I challenge people that, when you are walking to a new customer's office or something like that, you don't want to start pitching your brochure. You don't want to start listing your features. Nobody buys off of features. They buy off of benefits, right? And I see so many times, so many salespeople that are untrained go into these meetings and they just start listing, oh, we've been in business 40 years. We have and they just start going through bullet points and bullet points. That tunes people out and that disconnects you from your target audience. Now, think about this. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. Their time is obviously stretched thin. There's all these vendors knocking on the door. What can you do to make yourself different than any other person that walks in there and tries to sell something? I often say, try to have some sort of sales consultation approach or knowledge whenever you're walking into your customer's office. What in the industry could tie into their job performance? What in the industry on the horizon should they be looking out for? So having some sort of value, knowledge, added conversation or points in the conversation can definitely elevate your conversation with your target audience. All right. Be a sales consultant, offering market intel, not just listing features about your product. All right. And if customers are talking about, a lot of times too, if you think about this, Starbucks, Twin Peaks, wherever, they always offer different sizes. Twin Peaks is the regular size, the man size. Starbucks has the small, grande, venti, whatever that is. It's a tiered pricing system. So you don't have to drop your price to the lowest price to compete. What you could do, you could set an anchor at a price and tier your services up, tier your offerings up a little bit. That kind of, they might feel like they have the lowest price, but again, that gives them the option of selecting on what makes them comfortable with, what they're comfortable spending. All right. Another thing is this is kind of the concept that every person sits around and discusses whenever you are basing something off of low cost. You get what you paid for, right? This is where you kind of talk about the total cost of ownership. Hey, listen, you might go with this person right here who are offering at this low price. Hell, I would go with that too. However, what happens when that breaks down, or what happens when that doesn't come through, or something falls off the lines? You're probably going to be having to go pay more to get the service that you want, right? So what is the total cost? Yeah, you might be buying this, for the lowest cost possible, but if the product breaks, if the machine breaks, whatever happens, it's going to cost you more. So again, talking about the total cost of ownership, what does it actually mean if they purchase your service, purchase your product? Will it help them in the long term if they went with you and not something low cost? All right. Another thing that you can do is leverage your brand equity. Obviously, nobody is in business to be low cost. Okay, that's not a strategy. We talked about that. You're just creating junkies from your customers. Now, unless you're Walmart, unless you're a company that is vocal, and that's how you want to position yourself as low cost. But chances are, people want to do work with you for a certain reason, right? You see people wanting to work with your company for a certain reason, right? So leverage that. What are you known for? What do you want to be known for? Okay. Are you expertise in a certain area? Do you know how to work more faster and more nimble than your larger competitor? Find out what makes the most sense. Leverage your brand, leverage your size. It's just like corporate jujitsu. It doesn't matter if you're a small person on the mat or a big person on the mat. If you have the right techniques and you leverage your position, that's going to get you through. All right. Another thing is, and kind of wrapping it up, listen, this is one of those things that it's like you need to educate and train your sales group. All right. A lot of times people just throw people at problems. People throw people at and they just tell people to hit the road. Hey, go get more business, go get work. And they offer a sharpened pencil. They say, hey, listen, here's go get work. And if you need to, this is the lowest price we can get to. For me, that's not a great way for a longevity business strategy. So again, train your salespeople on how to have these conversations, how to handle objections, how to speak about your service and your product and the benefits of using you way, way, way before the price. It should be front loaded with benefits, not features. I mean, it should be front loaded with benefits and the value. And then at the end, that's when the price conversation enters into the chat. All right. So again, it's going to take, it's very uncomfortable shifting away from the low cost conversations. However, if you do want to have a long-term business strategy, it's important to not have that as your strategy going low cost. So again, prep your conversations, do a little pre-planning, a little visualization, and have fun with navigating these conversations. Again, you might not knock it out of the park or feel comfortable at first. The more you practice these avoidance of low-cost conversations, the more you emphasize the value and the benefit of your brand in real person terms, not just, oh, we create efficiencies. What does that actually mean? Efficiency doing what? Does that mean I can clear up and do the stuff I care about? Does that mean I have to go home and see my family a little bit more? Does that mean I can make my kids baseball practice? Because if I didn't use your service, I'd be stuck at the office. So again, what does it actually mean? Stay away from the jargon, stay away from the buzzwords, and communicate exactly what it means to your customer. Again, think about your buying behavior and put yourself in the shoes of your target audience. You're not going to go low cost. There's reasons why you purchase an iPhone. There's reasons why you purchase a brand of soap versus another brand of soap. So again, put yourself in your customer's shoes. The products you buy are not competing for low cost. It's the best value. What makes you feel the way you feel and how you live your life efficiently. That's the same conversations you need to be having with your customers. So again, hopefully I didn't go off on too much of a tangent and rambled there with a little word salad. But hey, thank you all for tuning in to Lead with Soft Skills. If you're interested about kind of getting more sales experience, we're going to be doing We're going to be doing a Confidence Connection to Sales Edge seminar in Houston, Texas on April 2nd. We're going to be diving in on how to build your network strategically, how to get past low-cost conversations. And not only that, but just honestly how to have the inspiration and mindset to continue to beat the streets in the sales world where cost is king and cost is a great filter to keep you out of their office. So, hey, hope you join us. Again, you can find that out. Head over to our LinkedIn page, Exec Crew, CRUE. You can see it over here if you're watching this, and find out more information. We look forward to having you there. And again, don't turn your customers into junkies. We'll see y'all soon. If you enjoyed it, please share. And I appreciate you just being here.